When I heard his voice, I felt the fire burn in my heart. That fire is now an everlasting fire. When he spoke, lightning struck my mind, my heart, and my soul. He was my rock. He was my grandfather, Charles Henry Dawson, my hero. My grandfather was born October 17th, 1949, to Ethel and Vivian Dawson. He was one of 8 brothers and sisters, but in my mind, he stood out from the rest, like a star. He was raised to be a God-fearing child. He was in church every Sunday, Bible school and all. He was always the happiest, sweetest kid in the house. That one kid who laughed, joked, rarely got in trouble, respected others, and most of all, he absolutely adored and cherished his mother and Christmas, just like me. As a young man in his 20s, he was a soldier in the Army. But not only did he serve our country, he served as a loving husband, father, and of course, a hero to me. My granddad is my hero because he, to me, demonstrated the true meaning of a real man. That's who I want to become as I keep growing up. He showed me the way of things. He was like my father, but it was a little more awesome because he was also my grandpa, obviously. It just so happened that I was the only boy in the family at the time. He had 3 daughters, one being my mom, and I was the firstborn grandchild, also the first boy to be born into the family. My granddad considered me a son, his son. It was so special. He gave me a name that has stuck with me since the day I was in the delivery room. He called me Super Dude. Yeah, may sound corny, funny, whatever it may seem to you, but he called me it every time, and every time meant basically almost every day. As I've said already, he was my hero. The most defining moment in my life with him is something that will always stick with me. In January of 2006, Granddad was admitted into the hospital once a weird episode happened where my great uncle noticed he couldn't write his checks. That bizarre situation led to him being placed in ICU for a while. He was in critical condition. Doctors informed us that he had a less than 10% chance of living. Less than 5% chance of living, and that we should go ahead and start making funeral arrangements. I was devastated, as was my mother. She said somebody wants to speak with you. A nurse called. It was my grandpa. My mother couldn't believe it. He told her that he loves her with all his heart and that he was not leaving us yet. The nurse told her that Granddad had woke up, pulled his breathing tubes from inside of him, and said, "Get my daughter on the phone." If that doesn't show you what God can truly do for you when you believe, a true example of love and perseverance and a loving father, then I don't know what does. But what I do know is that not only is he my hero, but he's our family's hero. He was everything you could ask for and more until December 16th of 2009 when he left us to be in a better place. I love you, Granddad. Love Super Dude.